Welcome in this new landing challenge. In this landing challenge we're gonna land on the Nice airport with our Textron airplane. As you can see, it's a bit windy. The airport is already on our left side. We look on our right side, we can see the city of Nice. So let's try and make a soft landing on the airport. So the runway which we're gonna use is the right runway. I think it was 22 right, so 22R. So you can see the harbor there from Nice. Still making good pace because we have a lot of wind, so we need to, let's say, throttle a little bit more than probably normally necessary when you've got the wind from the back. So now let's reduce speed a bit and let's make sure that we're correctly aligned to the runway. And drop the flaps. And as soon as you drop the flaps, you hear some irritating alarm, and that alarm is caused by the gears which are not down. So also make sure you put the gears down, else you will end up on the runway without your gears down, and that will not be a soft landing, as you can imagine. So let's drop speed to 80 knots. I think we're a little bit too high, so we probably need to give it another try after this turn. We need to further drop the speed because we're going too fast. We're going above 90, as you can see on the left screen. Well, on the left side of the screen, right, where you can see the runway clearly. So you can either do it using VFR, or you can use the screen to align correctly, or to align correctly for the runway. Don't go too much to the right. You don't want to land in grass, right? Decrease throttling because we want to land as close as possible to the blue marked spot. Pretty close. Brake, throttle back, and let's see at which place did we end in the ranking. Above 10,000. Well, you can see that the landing precision was pretty well. Smoothness was also pretty good. However, the ground roll was not that well. So let's try it again. So press next, restart, and continue. Let's give it another try. So you can see the approach here with 90 knots, and then at the end almost 80 knots, and then we're gonna make the land on runway 22R. Which are pretty long. It's 10 feet, so long enough for a small airplane, I would say. 10 knots winds, so it's almost there. So here you can see the Nice airport, really nice airport. So let's give it a try again. Pretty cool. The sea and the city, and nice mountains. It's a recommended scenery to fly around if you want to see some nice sceneries. There are some beautiful places here and some beautiful mountains. So let's reduce speed a bit. drop the flaps so we can get a little bit more of gliding, reduce the speed further. Don't forget to put the gears down. And you will be warned, right? So you hear the beep, and if you hear the beep continuously, that means, well, something requires your attention. And that can be seen in the on the left screen. In the right bottom, you can see the caution button blinking. In this case, it's also caused by the pilot heat not switched on. Well, in this case, it's not really necessary because the weather in Nice is, well, in most cases, it's a pretty nice weather, so there's no need to switch on the pilot heat. If you go and fly in different parts of the world, or fly, I would say, on a higher altitude, you might want to switch on the pilot heat just to make sure you're not freezing. So all goes pretty well. 500 feet. So reduce speed a little bit more. And increase speed a bit. As mentioned, you can use the user screen to also make sure that you're correctly aligned to the runway. Let's see in this case if the score was a little bit better, and let's see if we are below or are in the 9,000 range. Oh, you can see that the ground roll was not that good. Precision was, well, could be better. So let's give it a third try. If we don't succeed using the third time, probably I need to practice a little bit more in that case. So here's also explained, right? The landing position is the score, which is mentioned to the blue square, which is drawn on the runway. Then you've got the center score, which is how close you are to the center of the runway. And you've got the smoothness, which will, well, as you can imagine, the softer you land, the better it is. You can see the blue square appearing at the runway. And here's the airplane. So let's hit ready to fly, and let's give it the third try to see if we can make a little bit of smooth landing, and let's try to see if we can come in the 9,000 range of the score list. If that doesn't work this time, well, we probably need to repeat the challenge a few other times and then try again, because it's simply practicing and practicing, and that's the only way to learn it correctly. Always wondering how those guys are ending up, or maybe also girls are ending up at the I would say at the top of the list. It looks to me that it will be pretty hard, right? So, but maybe that's me. I'm not an official pilot. I'm even not an amateur pilot. I'm just a simmer. But I like these challenges, right? These are really, I would say, a nice addition to Flight Simulator 2020. Makes it challenging, right? Flying around is fun, but sometimes doing a challenge like this one is also really nice to do. So let's reduce the throttling and make sure that we're aligned correctly to the runway. 22R. It's windy, so you need to make some small corrections. Don't make the corrections too big, right? Always make small changes. 500 mark. Let's try not to push the airplane too much down. Small correction here. Reduce throttling. Reduce throttling further. Wow, the landing smoothness was not that good, but we think we made it spot on to the square drawn on the runway. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Oh, pretty good, right? Below the 9,000, even 8,000. So that was a nice experience. So if you liked watching this movie, don't forget to press the like button. If you'd like to see more of these videos or want to stay up to date about the videos I post, consider subscribing to my channel. Now, thanks for watching and see you next time doing our next challenge or other video.